Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we'll be talking to an expert about cybersecurity and commercial real estate. That's just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Cybersecurity is such a big topic these days. It seems like we hear about another ransomware or hack attack every single day in America. There hasn't been a great deal of media attention on buildings, commercial real estate, multifamily. To talk about that today, Wade Hughes, he's the CEO at 5Q. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks, Jeff. Great to be here.
Okay, so tell us more about 5Q.
Well, 5Q is focused on commercial real estate owners and operators, and we provide a full stack of technology solutions for that client base. And our clients own office buildings, malls, senior living facilities, multifamily facilities, industrial warehousing. So that's our client base, and their assets are their buildings.
One of the things that you were telling me before we went on was the idea that you will actually send teams in to kind of crawl around buildings looking for stuff that shouldn't be attached to the network.
That's right. That's right. These buildings over time, if you think about the Internet of Things, IoT, and what's happened, these buildings have been in existence for 20, 30, 40 years sometimes, and the technology creep that's gone on inside of the buildings with all the multiple vendors, if you think about HVAC systems, elevator systems, security cameras, access control for the badges to get into the building, all that technology are from different vendors, and they've been changing over time. And the building has been more and more connected to the internet in different ways. So any given office building could have 20 different internet circuits all over the building. And how you monitor and manage those circuits and the devices that are attached to them and protect your own network from devices you don't want to be attached is a real challenge. So we got to find them first,
sure,
and then lock them down and bring them back through a central network that's highly secure and protected.
So when you find stuff, is it usually innocently placed there or maliciously placed there?
Both. It may have been innocently placed there at the beginning by a vendor, then they've moved on to a different technology, relocated a certain system, but that device is still connected. Hackers look for those devices that are dormant, and then they activate them and use them for malicious purposes. So
yes,
so it's kind of an evolution of time, and that's why we have to go physically search for these devices, because they've been forgotten about.
Absolutely.
But never turned off.
I can see why your company is so successful. We found a 30-second clip. Let's go ahead and roll that now.
5Q is an award-winning technology solutions company committed to serving the commercial real estate industry. We provide the full spectrum of technology solutions, from CIO-level leadership and cybersecurity strategy to help desk support and on-site IT operations. We supply the full enterprise-level support that frees you to focus on your business goals. To learn more, visit 5qpartners.com, or if you're in need of a partner to deliver complete worry-free IT, email us at info@5qpartners.com.
So tell us about the history of 5Q.
5Q is really interesting. It was born in the parking lot of Georgia Tech football stadium, and that's why it's 5Q. It's the fifth quarter. And so the founding partners, I'm not one of those. There's 4 founding partners, Rob, Trey, Jeff, and Greg. And they would go to football games together. They all worked together at Wells Real Estate Funds. So that was the origin of 5Q, was the IT team of Wells Real Estate Funds. It had gotten to be 700 employees. Eventually, Leo Wells spun out the various assets into 4 different public REITs and took Wells Real Estate Funds down to about 15, 20 people. They're still a client today. But that team, as they downsized and took severance, used that money to start 5Q.
Wow.
We provided some services back to those REITs that spun out of Wells, and then started building more clients on top of that. That's when I came along, when they wanted to, this is my fourth startup company, and so they needed somebody to come and help figure out how to build the business around the need that they knew was there. And so we only knew a fraction of the need when we started this thing. Had no idea where this would go, but it's really taken off.
What separates your company from others in the space?
Our knowledge of the building, of the assets of our clients. That's really a lot of the services we provide are technology services you can find from generic providers, and we call them Joe's IT down the street. However, our ability to scale, number one, and number two, understand what goes on at the property level and be able to scale to meet those demands at the property level is by far a unique portion of 5Q, sets us apart.
Sure. We've got some video of just kind of generic hacking as we talk about this. When the pandemic happens, you have a lot of people moving to the home office.
Yes.
That creates another series of problems, doesn't it?
It does. It does. When those employees are trying to access the corporate network, that has to be locked down super tight, because their physical access in their home is typically not going to be secure. So you've got to secure that tunnel between their home and the corporate network, because if hackers can get through physically on their home and then get into the corporate network, they can wreak havoc. So we are rolling out things like two-factor authentication, VPN tunnels through secure network devices back in the corporate office, and there's a whole host of things we're doing to lock that down, and have been doing since the beginning of the pandemic.
Tell us what an ideal client looks like for you.
An ideal client for us owns and operates a commercial asset, office building or multifamily facility or mall, like we talked about before. And because those, and we do have clients that own but don't operate, and we have clients that operate but don't own. But the combination of those two things really enables us to do what we do best, which is help the client invest in those buildings and put in cost-effective solutions.
And are they calling you proactively, or are they calling you kind of 911? We just had a breach.
One of our ads is unfortunately our clients call us 24 hours too late.
Yes.
And that is unfortunate. They're already in a ransomware situation, or they have just purchased a portfolio and they don't have enough of their own personnel to get out to those sites and bring them on board, to bring all the technology on board and get everything set up according to their standards. So we do get lots of panic calls, but we are in the market all the time trying to meet our client base and our prospect base so that we can avoid that happening.
I know you attend a lot of conferences across the country. This is a hot topic right now, isn't it?
Oh, it's super hot. The cybersecurity is really hot. What else is hot is the multifamily space, because if you think about all these workers that have traditionally lived in apartment communities are now coming back home, and it's not only their home, it's their workspace all day, every day. So our multifamily client list has absolutely exploded, and the needs at the multifamily properties has exploded. So we've got, all the Internet of Things is happening there too. If you think about a fitness mirror,
yes,
it attaches to the network, and if the network's not secure, people can get in and penetrate the corporate network. More importantly, if they can't attach that to the network, then they've wasted money on the fitness mirror. So we've got to get out there and make sure that the multifamily communities have what they need for smart home technology and all the prop tech that's hitting the market right now.
And I bet you're busy because so many people are coming back to the office, which creates a new series of needs.
Right. So now we have both. We're supporting people at home and in the office. So
how about finding great talent? I know cybersecurity space is really tough, isn't it?
I tell you what, that is our #1 challenge right now. And when we find talent, keeping them, because people are paying ridiculous amounts of money to try to take them away. And I've been through 3 of these cycles in my career, and it always comes back. And so people are overpaid, and then it starts to become a real problem for them down the road. And we hope that the folks that work with us really enjoy working for 5Q. I know they do. We've built in a tremendous culture, and our job is maintaining that culture and attracting the kind of people that we want to come. You know, we don't necessarily want the people that are always just chasing the dollar.
Yeah. What percentage of the market is still out there that doesn't consult with a company like yours? I mean, are there a lot of like mom and pop owners who have never investigated cybersecurity?
Yeah, the commercial real estate market is really an interesting one. You have your institutional investors, which are the huge Invescos and TIAA-CREF and those, and they work with some of the larger management companies to operate the properties like Hines and CRE and JLL. But that's probably 20–30% of the entire market. The other 80 to 70% of the market are the smaller private equity firms that own 14 to 24, 25 assets.
Sure.
So we have several of those on our client list, but those are so hard to find.
Yeah.
But we run across them all the day, every day through the transactions that our clients are doing with each other and buying and selling these buildings. That's where we run across a lot of we pick up a lot of clients just on the buying side.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to create fear and doom, but
There's plenty of that out there.
It's serious, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody owns a few commercial properties and has never investigated a company like yours, they need to do something and make sure that they're not being compromised or their tenants are not being compromised.
They really do. There's two sides of the coin. One is the fear of the cyber hacking and somebody getting into your building and shutting your building down and preventing your tenants from entering, or jacking up the HVAC, the temperature at 100 degrees inside the building and holding you ransomware to get it back down. So there's that side, but the other side is providing tenant amenities and resident amenities that you want to provide, and making sure that you have the infrastructure at your property to be able to provide that. So we do both. We do the operational technology, so the building management systems, the operations technology that controls the actual building itself or the mall, and then we do the cybersecurity, which protects that infrastructure that we implement.
We only have about a minute left. For the person watching this saying, man, maybe I need to investigate this. What's it like to onboard a client? There's no cost to call you guys and see if there's an opportunity?
Oh, absolutely not. No, I talk to so many prospects every single week. It's my favorite thing to do is get to meet new people and understand what their challenges are. And then our first thing is really an assessment. Usually it's either a cyber assessment or an operational infrastructure assessment. And based on the findings of that, we make that obviously very cost effective. Based on that finding, that's when we together create a roadmap of whether we can help at all, and if we can, where do we plug and play.
Outstanding. You've been an amazing guest. Wade Hughes, CEO of 5Q. We'll end with the website, which is 5qpartners.com. Thanks again.
Thank you, Jeff.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.